AM 1230 WJBC, Scott Miller and Katherine Murphy on your radio. Coming up, Chef Ken from Epiphany Farms will join us in studio. What are we going to talk about? Well, they've got a new birthing barn. I'd like to lay in it and give birth.
Wow.
I don't know. I think pigs.
That's where the piglets are.
Birthing barn, and they've created a new greenhouse structure. And he's also been a world traveler. I think he went to go pick up his in-laws to bring them back here to open up the new restaurant. We'll find out more about it coming up with Chef Ken from Epiphany Farms right here on AM 1230 WJBC. Right now, though, let's take a look at some news. He's getting B-roll. That's what he's doing. Just want to let you know. Don't be nervous. He's getting B-roll.
Remember, I started my career in television.
He's going to be making some little edits. Going to make that guy look good and make me look fat. Welcome to WJBC.
Maybe I'm going to make you look good and make him look fat.
No, that's impossible. His day is his gym. Works on the farm. He's a farmer.
His
and
gym
a
is free,
business
as he
owner,
just
and he's
said.
also a father. Those kids wear him out.
Broadcasting with the greatest mustache in radio. This is the Scott Miller Show. Here's Scott Miller.
AM 1230 WJBC, the official kickoff of the weekend happens right here on the Scott Miller Show. There's a rule. If you don't listen to the Scott Miller Show each and every Friday, you don't get a weekend. Your boss called and said you've got to work Saturday and Sunday. So I'm asking you, you got to listen every Friday about this time. Now, I'm proud to say that Epiphany Farms is the sponsor of the official kickoff of the weekend. I think they bought a 70-year contract to just constantly support the Scott Miller Show and the official kickoff of the weekend. And each and every week they join us in studio. Somebody from Epiphany Farms comes in to talk about one of their restaurants, what's happening on the farm, maybe some brand new piglets. Well, we got the big man is in the house, the chef owner. It's Chef Ken. Good morning, Chef.
Game on. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
All right. So you've got a new birthing barn. I never thought I'd say that on the radio. And you've got your first piglets born yesterday. First off, what's a birthing barn? I think I can figure it out, but...
Yeah, it's actually more of a hoop. It's called a clear span structure, and it's a white fabric, almost like a greenhouse, but it has a fabric hoop on it. And then it has 6 birthing stalls for the winter with automated waters that stay heated, little hot boxes for the baby piglets to go to at night to stay warm, and a nice comfortable setting for the sows to give birth.
All right, how many piglets were born yesterday? How many do we have?
Okay, so yesterday it would have been, we started at right around midnight. We finished at 3 a.m. and I had 9 alive, 1 stillborn, and I lost one. The first one came out. I didn't get there in time.
All right. Do you name them? You've got kids. Are your kids out there naming them like Porky and Daffy and Donald and Squeaky?
More us was with us. Me and Anam and our youngest was hanging out, and the one that had passed away was off to the side in a barrel to go to the compost pile, and he started messing with it. And he picks it up and he says, "Can we eat it?" I was just like, "Oh no!"
That's a farmer's kid right there.
I was like, "I've tried it before. It's not that good. Let's put it back."
All right. So we've got these brand new piglets. How long will you have them until I hate to say it, but that they're on my plate at the restaurant? How long do you go?
We typically go 5.5 to 6.5 months, depending. And then if we were to keep them back as gilts to become sows, like we actually breed our own breeding stock, we would breed at about the 1-year mark.
All right. And then you've got a new greenhouse structure. You are non-stop out at the farm. It's non-stop. I can't imagine running one restaurant, Epiphany Farms. No, 2, Anjou above. Well, let's add bakery and pickle. Well, how about we add Old Bank and Leroy, and let's open up a brand new restaurant in 2020. But you're now building. It's a constant dance if you want to stay ahead of the curve, and it's all about making money, but it's all about benefiting the community as well. You're not doing it just for fun. You're doing it because this community needs it. So this new greenhouse structure, explain what you built and why it was needed.
Well, we had a series of greenhouses that we built over the last 10 years at the other farm. We had 4 greenhouses that we could grow year-round in. A greenhouse that we start all of our seeds in early February, a greenhouse we can grow all of our heirloom tomatoes and our peppers, things like that, and then a hoop house where we put other miscellaneous things. We've broken 2 of those greenhouses down. We're resetting those up in downs, and then we also had to get a new hoop structure. So we bought a hoop structure from a really cool company up in Ann Arbor, Michigan called Nifty Hoops. They came down, we did a starter build with the owner and his helper, And we lined up 6 of our crew members, and we basically, when they got there at 8 a.m., we were trying to get done in a day to a day and a half. It took us, we did 10 hours the first day, 3 hours the second day, and it was completed. So the team crushed it. They rocked it out. It's a 30-foot wide by 96-foot long structure. The front 30% of it will be seedlings, just starting the seedlings. Will be starting to grow next week. And then the back half will actually be growing in the ground. It's the first of 4 of these greenhouses that are going to go to this site over the next 2 years, and it's really going to be what allows us to extend our season and be able to meet the needs of the restaurants during the fall, winter, and early spring months.
So not only a new birthing barn and a new greenhouse structure, but you just got back to the country. Where were you?
My family was in Korea, and then we did a little trip to Osaka and Japan, and it was a blast. The kids hung out. My in-laws are moving here from Korea tomorrow. They come in. They're going to come and help us. They're going to live with us. They're going to help with the kids, and they're also going to help with us with the recipe development and the concepting of Harmony, which is the Korean restaurant that we're going to be opening pretty soon.
And you're here this morning to announce the exact opening date. Take it away, Chef Ken. Oh, he never announced when you're opening a restaurant.
No.
Never did it. I love it. So have your in-laws come to visit? They've been here before?
Yeah, they have, but they're both officially retired, and they've missed being with the kids, and they want to come and give us a hand and help with the kids and move here, and so we're super excited to have them, and it's going to be great for our children. We primarily speak English. We have a Korean diet at home for the most part. We primarily speak English. They understand Korean, but they're not really like speaking it. And so we're really looking for the opportunity for her parents to be here, for the household to speak Korean, and then I can just like act like I know what they're saying.
Well, I was sitting at Epiphany Farms a couple weeks ago, and one of the staff told me that your in-laws were going to be moving here. And I looked at them, I go, well, they're opening the Korean restaurant. This is, in-house hardcore help, like we're going to put mom right in the kitchen. And they said, nope. Built-in babysitting. So I mean, it helps for the stronger the team, the better the outcome.
Right. So grandma, Harmony means grandmother, and so this restaurant is completely designed and inspired by the grandmothers of Korea, but specifically our children's grandmother, Nanam's mom. And she is an amazing cook. She also loves to grow vegetables, so she's going to work for us, and she's going to be on the farm.
That's not good to have your mother-in-law work for you. Don't do that. You better pay her double, whatever you're paying anybody else.
I will, for sure. No, I think she's going to really add a lot to the team and the farm and understanding. And there's so many amazing medicinal plants. Like Korea is one of the few countries in the world that eats for their health. And so the things that they grow, the things that they include in the recipes are specifically to enrich their bodies and be very nutritionally dense. She's also really into things like wild ginseng, wild ramps, that kind of stuff, and she has a ton of wisdom. And so it's going to be super big for us to have her a part of it. And we want the restaurant to be very exciting and authentic. And so that's absolutely like key.
So when you say at home you're eating predominantly Korean, just run through what you ate yesterday, just to give people an idea of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What were you putting in your pie hole yesterday?
It's so with Korean cuisine, the base is always bap. Bap is rice. So you always start with bap, and it's a short grain, either a white rice or a whole grain rice, and then we also put like beans and other types of whole grains in the rice. Then on top of that we have gim. Gim is roasted seasoned laver or seaweed. That kind of like seasons it and acts as a carrier. Lettuce to create a wrap, which is called sam. And then we have the banchan. And the banchan are all the small little dishes that are added that have, whether it's crazy. They have some American things like macaroni salad and potato salad, things like that. But it's typically like small baby anchovies called murchi, which have like peanuts, and Nanam makes that. We'll have some eggs that are cooked with pollock roe, so the eggs of the pollock fish. Kimchi, we have 4 types of kimchi typically in the banchan. There's king's kimchi, which is cabbage that's made without peppers, because peppers weren't brought to Korea until much later. So the original kimchi was just fermented cabbage, much more like sauerkraut. There's kimchi that has the peppers. There's kimchi that's made out of radishes, which is called mu. And then there's just like all these different really delicious side dishes. So Nanam bangs out these banchans and does them in big batches, and then she does a lot of these ferments, and then they're put into a container. They sit into our kimchi fridge. We have a kimchi fridge that has a carbon filter, so it like doesn't smell up the house. And then when we go to eat, we pull out the rice, they get the pop, they get the eggs, they get the gim, and then all of these assorted toppings.
That was a trick question. I just wanted to preview with a menu of Harmony Grill when it opens.
I want to know where the Lucky Charms come in.
Well, here's what I want to tell you. When I moved to town, I hated kale. I thought kale is the worst thing in the entire world because it's a leather lettuce. And then I started eating at Epiphany Farms. And the Epiphany Farms kale salad is one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. And I go there weekly to get it.
Thank you.
I hate kimchi. I've never tried it. I hate it. My goal within the next year is to hopefully develop a passion or an interest or at least a palate to have kimchi, because what I know about it is it's stanky, rotten cabbage. That's what I know about it.
No, we gotta. I'll bring the King's kimchi in, which is what Morris and Comfrey, my 2 youngest sons, what they eat. And it's not spicy. It's not super pungent. It's refreshing. It's delicious. There's pears in it. There's radishes. There's cabbage. But it's really, really good, and it's super, super healthy for you.
See, I'm Irish. I eat corned beef and cabbage all the time. I love it. I
absolutely.
love it.
Yep. And then so there's this thing called tangjang, which is fermented soybeans, kind of like Japanese miso, that we mix sesame oil and then raw garlic into, and then this is what the kids dip cucumbers and lettuce and then steamed cabbage in, and it is. I think next time I come in, I'll bring some tangjang and some lettuce and some cucumbers, and then we'll have some King's kimchi because it is phenomenal.
I love it. I love it. Our guest is Chef Ken from Epiphany Farms. Not only does he own the farm, he's got, I don't know, about 47 restaurants here in town, but he does it for the community because, you were born and raised here, and you traveled the world, and you called your mom after traveling the world and said, I'm coming home to open up a restaurant and build a farm, and your mother said, what are you doing? No, your world travel, go to a big city. But you said, no, I'm coming home because this is where I belong, and this is, the community needs me, and I think that has shown. I really do.
Thank you. Thanks for the support.
Chef Ken from Epiphany Farms right here on AM 1230 WJBC, the official kickoff of the weekend next.
It's genetics.
I don't know about that kimchi.
It's
I'm bringing it.
You'll love it.
It's so good. You're gonna love it.
All right.
Did the sow get to the first pig before you got there?
She just
what it takes to make
rolled
the best
over it.
product.
It's pretty
Oh.
common.
It takes to make
Oh, well, I've seen him eat them.
Yeah, they'll do that.
I've watched him eat
They'll
them.
do that. So I didn't answer your question because I think we had 7, then we had 9 alive, and then now we have 1 that's giving birth, hopefully today.
Who's out there watching? You have somebody babysitting?
Today it's Spencer and me. I did chores this morning. We had a couple raccoon traps set up, and we caught a raccoon that was getting into a chicken coop. So we took him out, and then
Where are
What are you
those
gonna do?
dogs?
the dogs, but they're still puppies, so they're staying up at the house.
Yeah.
What's
And-
going to happen to the raccoon tail?
The tail?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want it?
Yeah.
Here's what I think should
Oh,
happen.
we should talk about Taylor Peters. We have a resident bounty hunter. This guy, he works for us he's the brunch buffet chef on Saturdays and Sundays, but he comes out to the farm every morning at like 7 a.m. and hunts. And he's taken out like 4 coyotes, he's taken out like 3 raccoons. The guy is so
Can he
into
do
it.
that legally?
Yeah,
Or?
this is the season. It goes till the
Oh,
14th.
okay.
Yeah, he's completely legit, and he's really into it. It scares me.
That's awesome.
I see you taking that raccoon tail and giving it to Stu, and he's going to wear it around his belt loop.
Yeah.
Some sort of style for him. I see that happening.
Stu's amazing. We're so lucky. He's the one that's the builder.
I'm the dreamer, he's the doer, and then I'm the critic. And that's what you need to have a successful
Absolutely.
team.
It's a perfect partnership.
Yep, it's really good.
It really is.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime you want.
All right, well, I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.
You could bring a piglet. I mean,
Oh,
I
you
would.
don't want to piglet it.
I love piglets.
I don't know.
I grew up around them.
I know, but in here, pooping and peeing everywhere, this is a radio studio,
They
not a
don't-
circus.
They don't non-stop poop and pee.
No, they're cute. They're fun.
Yeah.
I really like
They
them.
can be
I like raising pigs. They're my favorite animal.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks.
for having me.
We'll see you
I'll
next week.
See you later. Thanks for all the support.